Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Our Philippine journey, Mike and Arlen. Hey, I've gotten so many requests for more stories about the Topless Bar. So let me give you a little piece of history, and then we'll get started with Lori the Nun. Let's see here. History. I spent my entire life from college on up in healthcare. I've owned many businesses during that period of time. Investments in businesses, owning businesses. Even though I worked in healthcare, I owned other businesses. Some were for short situations, quick flip. Some were longer. Some were very long. One of the businesses that I owned, quite by accident, was a topless bar in Phoenix, Arizona. And the cast of characters is long and illustrious. That's for sure. Today we're going to talk about Lori the Nun. Now we've talked about Boner Boy, and I've got more stories about Boner Boy. God rest his soul. Lori was a young lady who worked as a dancer in the bar. She was attractive, uh, and she had all of the, let's just call them bad habits of a stripper. You know, she'd get high, she'd get drunk, she had bad boyfriends, but she was a hardworking girl and, for the most part, punctual and on time. When she wasn't punctual or on time, she generally had a very good excuse. Lori would generally be, most of her excuses would generally be related or would be revolving around the church. She was a devout Catholic. I don't know. Can I say that? Can you be a devout Catholic and a stripper and get high and drunk all the time? I'm not sure. But certainly she carried her Bible in her pocketbook almost always. Once in a while she was on break, you could even catch her reading her Bible. And most of the time, if she was not going to be on time or have a problem with her schedule, it would revolve around the church. You see, Lori would volunteer at her church. Lori would volunteer at the shelter at her church. Lori would, she'd just be very active. So one day, I drop in. Now, keep in mind, owning a business, managing a business, and running a business are actually three different things. When you own a business, you look at it from a business point of view, you interact with that high echelon level of lawyers, the city count in the terms of the topless bar, the lawyers, the city council, the liquor board, all right, and a little bit to deal with the uh, employees, you know, and of course the financials. When you run a business, when you manage a business, particularly a topless bar, management looks at staffing, the facility itself, the keeping it running, all the things that go along with it. All right, and personnel, obviously. And then when you run the business, well, these are the people that just keep the wheels running on the orders that they are given. Okay, so you've got your owner, you've got your managers, and then you've got your shift managers. Okay, So, as an owner, I would drop in when I had time to take a look at the books and catch up with things and figure out how much cash is in the safe and, are they doing the bank runs and look at different things. And I would generally do that on a Sunday because it's in the early Sunday because it's a time in the bar when things are quite quiet, nothing going on really. Not until a football game started or a basketball game, but generally Sundays are football days. Uh, but either way, I'm in there one day and I noticed that it kind of looks thin. I mean, we would start our Sunday shift with about 14 to 16 girls, and I'm not seeing all of them. And I look on the schedule and I notice, well, Lori's on the schedule, but I don't see her. So time goes on, we get things done, still no Lori. I'm a little bit concerned because even though we don't really interact a whole lot with the dancers, we know them all. They liked us. We were owners that didn't take advantage of them, and we were very fair with them. And once in a while, they'd even approach us with an issue they would have with a manager, and we would resolve it or work to resolve it. I said, you know what? Let me find out where Lori is. So I asked my day shift manager, hey, where's Lori? What's going on? And he goes, oh, you know what? I just got a call from her. She'll be here in about 20 minutes. So I decided to stick it out. What's going on? Lori finally pops in. She comes in, and it's kind of like in her jeans and t-shirt and everything, very casual, sexy, cute. And I said, Lori, can you come to my office? I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes. So she comes in, sits down. I said, Lori, where have you been? You were on the schedule for 11 o'clock this morning, and it's 2 in the afternoon. What's going on? You're supposed to be punctual because at our bar, you had mandatories. You had a choice. All the girls could sign up to work either a Sunday day shift or a Wednesday night shift. One or the other. They had to do one of those 2 days in addition to the other shifts that they would get. Well, she said, look, Mike, I'm going to be honest. I had to go to church. And I said, well, Lori, that's understandable, but, but you've got a Sunday day shift that you signed up for. And she goes, yeah, but, I go to see my mom on Wednesdays. And so, Sunday is the only day that I can get things done. And I go to mass on Wednesdays and everything. But I had a problem. And I'm saying, well, tell me what's going on. Well, apparently, and I don't know how this works at different churches, and I don't know how this works at her church. She went to a very large Catholic church. But apparently, after Mass or morning Mass and before afternoon Mass, they would have confession. And Lori would go to confession. And that just kind of blew me away. I mean, how does a stripper go to confession? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I rubbed some guy's unit until his pants got wet. I'm not sure how many Hail Marys that's worth, or what's the other one? Our Mother Full of Grace or something. And I said, well, that's this morning, though, confession. And she goes, yeah, but I have to be honest. I got a little carried away the other night with a customer who's really cute. And so I gave him a hand job in the back. And while I gave him the hand job, that was all well good. And he didn't, it's not like he came. I mean, I just kind of felt him up a little bit, but I had to confess that to in confession. And because I had to put that into confession, uh, Father, whatever his name was, had me stay and help with the volunteer. They had a big food bank that would do a Sunday meal, and she had to stay and volunteer for that. I can't make this stuff up. This is the honest truth. You cannot make up this kind of stuff. The second part was another time. This was probably, I don't know, 6 months later or something like that. Now, Lori had a boyfriend. We'll call him, well, we don't need to call him anything. They called him Stretch. Stretch was like 6'6", 6'8" maybe. Tall, skinny guy. He had all the same habits Lori had with respect to substance abuse. And I think it was a Sunday, pretty sure it was a Sunday, my pager went off. Yeah, this was still back in the days of pagers. And it was Lori's number. And I called Lori and I said, Lori, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, but I can't make it to work tonight. And I said, well, no, you have to make it to work tonight, because I don't remember what day it was. It was probably a Tuesday or Wednesday, the two slowest nights of the week, other than, the two slowest nights of the week. Believe it or not, Sunday night was always a decent night. I said, what is going on, Lori? She goes, I just can't make it to work, Mike. I don't feel good. I'm sore. And I'm like, you're sore? Like you got a workout routine or something like that? And she goes, no. And this is exactly what she said, or very, very close to what she said. She said, Stretch has a really big cock. And last night he wanted butt sex. And now I just can't move. I can't make it to work today. Honest truth again. Now, this is my little nun, Lori. You can't make these kind of stories up. And these dynamics of people exist. They're real. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I think next story I might do would be, well, you know what? You'll just have to kind of wait and see. I've got a couple of ideas. I want to slowly introduce the cast of characters that were longtime employees there. We hope you found this entertaining. I know it's not informative, but if you found it entertaining, hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And we hope you're having a great day. Okay?